In this video, we're going to review Ahrefs and Agency Analytics, two great choices for tracking keywords, looking at backlinks, and generally helping out with a website's SEO and pay-per-click campaigns. So what this video will do is just briefly kind of show a couple of the features of each with some editorial comments on which I like for each service. And hopefully it will allow you to decide which one you want to try. So let's get into it. First things first, we're on Ahrefs website here. Nicely designed website. Both of these have a 14-day free trial, so I would suggest you take them up on that offer. Just wanted to quickly show in here there are a few differences in these two plans, which we'll get into later. This review will cover this standard plan here. If we hop over to Agency Analytics, another nice looking website. If we look at their pricing, it is slightly cheaper than Ahrefs, so it's a good solution if you're a freelancer or you're on your own or you have a small company and you're not going to be tracking a lot of data. And it's a little bit more simple and not as feature rich, Agency Analytics is. So we can dive into some of those features right now. So first we're going to take a look at Ahrefs. What I do like about this site overall is how much data it does give you and how much you can drill into that data. But with that obviously comes some challenges in laying it out, and I do feel it is a little busy with the double navs here, but we can get into a little bit more about that later. So what I did is I hooked up a site that I wanted to track that I knew had some good stats. So I chose zerb.com and then their foundation platform or their HTML framework. So in here you can kind of see the amount of backlinks, and this is just a real high level top view of what is going on with this URL. So the first feature I want to talk about is these track keywords. When you first add an account or added a website here, it's going to ask for your keywords and ask where you want to target those keywords, which is a nice feature, especially if you're a small company and you want to do some localization type SEO. But in here we can take a look and it'll show us which keywords we're tracking, what rank we're in, mobile rank, which is a pretty neat feature considering the last change in Google back in April, where they said mobile websites would get a little bit more preferential treatment in the search results. The URL, of course, that is ranking, and then the last time it was checked. So obviously I just hooked this up yesterday, where this would kind of show you the changes in the keywords up and down where you're at. And then this is a nice little breakdown of quickly showing you kind of the health of your SEO. Of course, if you wanted to add more, you can come here and just simply click, drop in a list of keywords right here, add the location, and that's it. So now I want to go back quickly to the dashboard here and kind of show you what you get. So if I drill in here, we will see some cool stats, right? So right here is nice to see some social indicators. You will notice Twitter is not showing up here because Twitter does not show that share data anymore. That's a pretty recent change. Ahrefs rank, I emailed in and asked them about this, and basically it's their ranking system within all the sites that they crawl. So I mean, take it for what it is, but it's just kind of their metric. It'll show you how many referring pages you have. This is a kind of cool breakdown of your follow, no follow, and redirect links. And then this is pretty cool right here. So the top content. So this kind of looks like what BuzzSumo can offer you, which shows what your most popular pieces of content are. And that's a great way. So it's still showing some Twitter data here, which is interesting. And then again, you can look at some anchor phrases. So this is a great way to make sure you're not going to get hit with, too dense of anchor like stuffing, which Google doesn't like. So you make sure you have a nice robust selection there. Cool. So that's a nice looking overview. If you come into content, again, you can do your top content and your top referring content, which we've already seen. Inbound links, this is a pretty sweet feature. You can look at new links, links you've lost, so people are no longer linking to you, broken links, and a bunch of other stuff. What I think makes this Ahref so powerful is you can actually come up here and search by a specific URL to see who's linking to that URL, which Agency Analytics I don't believe has that functionality. So that's pretty darn cool. Again, outgoing links, you can kind of see where your linking profile is passing its juice to. It does take a little bit whenever you start asking for new reports. It does take a little bit to load up, but obviously it's gathering quite a bit of data for you, so that is to be expected. Okay, real quick, I want to dive into some of these other features up here that really make Ahrefs worth the $179 a month. So here is a pretty cool tool that you can use to get content ideas. So you can search a keyword and it'll kind of show you who's dominating that for that term. This is great if you want to know what to write about. You can kind of see what's already been written about and how well it's performing, and do a little bit of a spin-off of that. This is a really good feature. You'd probably pay a lot more for this if you had like a content explorer, a backlink checker, keyword tracking service. It's nice that it's all incorporated into one. Again, Position Explorer, it'll kind of show you the most profitable keywords for organic search. So, we could quickly just show you, right, your top 10 competitors. It's going to show you your top organic keywords, your pages. If you did have some paid advertising going on, it'll show you in here kind of where the position of those ads are, which is a nice feature. So again, this is just a great way to kind of get an overview or a snapshot of where you're kind of at in the SERPs. Now this right here is, in my opinion, probably the coolest part of Ahrefs, all of these labs that they call them. Ahrefs top is kind of a weird one. It just shows you where your website's ranked comparative to all the other websites that they crawl, which honestly, like, it's a cool feature, but it doesn't really mean much, right? Domain comparison, though, is really cool. So you could compare quite a few different competitors and get a idea of where you're beating them and where you can improve. So it's going to do some domain rating. It's going to look at your Facebook shares. It's going to look at some referring domains, some referring pages, right? And so that's kind of a cool little cross-check between some domains. The SEO Toolbar is very much like Moz's SEO Toolbar, where you can install it for Chrome or Firefox and it'll put it up here. And you can get some data from links when you're looking in Google search. Batch analysis is really cool. You can drop in a ton of URLs and quickly see the backlinks that are connected to all of them. And right here is nice. You can look how many currently have it, or you could do a fresh, which means it's going to look again. Intersect. Yeah, so this is cool. You can show like who is linking to my homepage and my features page, but not linking to my plans page. And so then you could reach out to them and say, hey, it'd be great if you'd link to my plans page. Maybe you're an affiliate, you have an affiliate program. Like, this is a great way to find affiliates who are kind of missing an opportunity there, and it works pretty darn good. Keyword Explorer, this is nice. So this is kind of like Keyword Planner, where if I were to type in a keyword, it will give you suggestions and kind of show you the traffic expected from those keywords. So it's nice. It looks good. I mean, it does kind of give you a little bit of information here, but I would probably still go to Keyword Planner first, just because you get more data, and I just feel a little bit more comfortable doing some research in there, and you get a lot more suggestions that I think are in tune to what you're actually searching for. A couple other quick things before we wrap up this Ahrefs review is you can schedule reports, which is pretty nice. So you can have reports going out to other people, and you can set it up on like a weekly or a monthly setting right here. Email notifications, and then the disavow links are pretty cool. So if you have a bunch of spam, or if you kind of were doing some shady SEO practices, whether you knew it or not, and now you need to get those links out of your link profile, you can go ahead in here and kick some links off. Content alerts: anytime somebody writes about something, a keyword that you're interested in, you can be alerted to that. Position tracker, again, just kind of quickly shows the overview of what you got going on here for tracking keywords. Okay, and again, if you wanted to add another website, you can do so right here. You get up to 10 websites. Now I'm going to quickly head over here to Agency Analytics. So I've been using Agency Analytics for over a year now, and I really like it. It's a tough one between these guys and Ahrefs, and it really depends on what you are doing and what you need it for. But quickly, I'm using Zerb's foundation framework again. So if you come out here to the main dashboard, you can set up these widgets, and these will kind of give you an indicator right off the bat. You can see call tracking metrics, which is pretty cool using CallRail, which I don't believe Ahrefs has. You can probably like use Zapier or something to make it work. But anyways, you can hook up all these and get some snapshots. And then if you come into here, you can check your rankings. So again, this will show you, historically where you've been at. I do like how it does Bing and Google, and you can come in here and see what's going on. I like how you can kind of shift these tables around a bit. You could star it, which means it keeps it at the top of the table no matter what you do. You can add tags, which is really cool. So if you were to say like, this is my January keyword crunch or whatever that I'm gonna write about, you can kind of keep track of which keywords you're targeting. So I really like that. You can come in here and start doing some extra features or extra metrics like this to get you a little bit more data, which is pretty cool. I like that a lot. It'll give you how many estimated searches there are right here, and it's actually pretty darn close to what Keyword Planner is suggesting as well. So I like that a lot. Backlinks, this is not as robust as Ahrefs, so if you're really concerned about backlinks, Ahrefs definitely is a better solution in my opinion. But you can come in here and see who's linking, their domain name, right? This monitor feature, I haven't quite figured it out, but basically you can add a backlink and the acquisition method and take notes on it and kind of just see how that backlink plays out for you. So it's a cool feature. Just haven't had a whole lot of time to play with it. The competition is cool. You can add a competitor and it'll just kind of show you their where they rank, and kind of similar to what Ahrefs does, but not as robust and doesn't give you as much data. So this is good if you're really just concerned about the SEO, but if you're worried about things like social and what they're paying for in terms of ads, then you might want to consider Ahrefs. Oh, so this site out, it's pretty cool. You can put in your URL, and it's provided by SEMrush, and it'll kind of break down all the areas in which you need to improve. Ahrefs also has something very similar to this, and it looks great as well. I like this because you can export it as a report. Same with Ahrefs. The reports are about the same, but I like the way that this can be drilled into and shows you the exact link and what's going on with all these 404 errors. So that's pretty cool. Analytics, you can hook up your Google Analytics and your Google Search Console, which used to be Google Webmaster Tools. Same thing with all your social media. Same thing with your AdWords. Same thing with your call tracking. Reports is cool. You can create a report and have it sent out to yourself and they look really good. And so that's like the one thing that I really like about this over Ahrefs is the reporting functionality. I think is they nailed it. Another thing that's pretty cool is you can add, so with the $99 a month plan, you can add 2 staff members, which are kind of admins, if you will. I mean, they're still a main site admin, but then these guys can pretty much do everything. And then you can create a client, which gives them access to the data, and you can actually set permissions based on what you want them to see or be able to pull reports on and whatnot. And so that's pretty cool. So as you can see, Agency Analytics doesn't have as many features in terms of giving you content suggestions, and it's not as robust with some of the backlink checking. But I really like how simple it is and how clean it looks. And I think for tracking SEO and some basic just reporting of the overall health of a company's website, I think it does a great job. I think if you want to get more data and drill into some stuff and use some of these cool lab features, then Ahrefs is definitely worth it. The last 2 things I want to mention here are Ahrefs says they're coming out with an API in 2016, which would be really cool. Agency Analytics currently has one, which is great. So if you are nerdy and want to get into some of that, Agency Analytics, I believe their plan for $200 or $300 gives you API access. And then, oh, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Ahrefs does have an API. Yep, they both have APIs. That is confirmed. What they don't have is an affiliate program. They said, Ahrefs said in 2016 they'll get an affiliate program. And I didn't see anything through a Google search on Agency Analytics for having an affiliate program. So, long-winded, but hopefully that tutorial or that review kind of helps you out a little bit deciding between the two. And hit me with any comments if you think I missed any cool features.